What is going on, everybody? We are officially live right now, and we are live with some NBA talk. The last time we did NBA talk was when we did the Brooklyn Nets talk, which very soon I'm going to be doing a live where I just talk about the Brooklyn Nets and their schedule. But now we know that the NBA schedule is released. It was released on Tuesday. And, these 2 days have passed. Today's Thursday, and we were able to digest the matchups that are going to be happening in the NBA season opener, which is going to happen on October 20th, and also what's going to happen on Christmas Day. It's gonna be amazing games. Let's just say that. The games that are gonna happen are going to be absolute amazing games. And look, I am extremely excited about it. What's going on, Maya? How you doing? Hope all is well with you. But yeah, look, I am extremely excited about the NBA season that is going to be coming up. And look, I am going to go straight to opening night. Opening night, it's going to be massive. And it's not even actually only opening night. It's actually opening day. This is the first time I ever see this happen. I've never seen a NBA game on the first day of the season. I've never seen it happen where it happens on at daytime. And that's exactly what we have with the Boston Red Sox, the Boston Celtics. They are going to be playing the Detroit Pistons at 3 p.m. And I've personally never seen that. Usually when the NBA season opens up, we have, 2 games. It's the first game at night that's not that late, maybe 7:30 the latest. But this one for the Knicks is 7. And then we have the 9:30 game or the 10 o'clock game. But this year's different. To start off this, this NBA season, we are starting it off with the Boston Celtics versus the Detroit Pistons. And that is going to be happening at 3 p.m. Look, this is not much of a rivalry game or an intense game. Without a doubt, it will be a good game. This is going to be Jason Tatum's first game as, I don't want to just say as the top dog, but the only top dog, because him and Jaylen Brown, I know it was always said that it was Jason Tatum's team, but saying that it was Jason Tatum's team is one thing. And we got a comment there from Making Bank. Yeah, the prices are ridiculous. This has always been Jason Tatum's team, and I feel like part of that is a reason why Jaylen Brown wanted to be out. So this is going to be Jason Tatum's first game where we are going to see him play and him have to take care of the team, him have to handle the team. He's the only superstar on the team. Now, they still have Derek White. They picked up, what's his name, from the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson. They still have a team that I expect them to be a great team. So we're going to see this Boston Celtics matchup, and it is going to be it's going to be a lot of fireworks in the game. It's not the main event, but now they're going to be playing the Pistons at Detroit. Why the Pistons? Look, the Pistons were the number 1 seed last year in the Eastern Conference. Was it a fluke, or is this team going to be, extremely better? Are they going to be a team that is for real with Cade Cunningham? To my knowledge, Duran, I believe his name, Jalen Duran, he's still not signed. He's still a free agent to my knowledge. I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, he's still a free agent. And, that right there it's a big one because he underachieved in the playoffs. I agree with that. But throughout the regular season, he was heavily an important player for the team. So we're going to have to see how that's going to work out, how that's going to transition. But that's how the NBA season is going to start off. The first game of the season, the first one, the Detroit Pistons are hosting the Boston Celtics, and that is going to be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, October 20th. I mean, we still got Still got about 2 months. Today is August 13th, so a week from today will be August 20th. We got about 2 months from next week. 2 months, exactly. So that's the first matchup. Now, this next matchup is the matchup that a lot of people are extremely excited, but then there's also a lot of people that are kind of annoyed with the matchup. And I've heard some people complain, oh, this is the Knicks opening night. Why are they opening night, the banner night? They're going to get their rings. Why are they, why are they taking away from the Knicks celebration by bringing LeBron James, and arguably the biggest story of the offseason, LeBron James and Jaylen Brown going to the 76ers. I've heard people complain about that. But I've also heard about other sides, people saying, look, this is perfect. The Knicks are going to get their ring. They're going to, put down the banner after 50 years, the championship banner. And, what's the problem with that? It's as big as it gets, and making bank even put, the prices for this match between the Knicks and the 76ers it's incredible. I'm telling you, the prices they're up there. So look, where do I stand? A lot of people have been complaining. Some people like it. I like it. Why do I like it? The Knicks are the champions. It's as simple as that. And the 76ers arguably are the biggest threat in the East to the Knicks, in my opinion. I know that Giannis is with the Miami Heat, still got the Celtics. The Kawhi Leonard trade, it seems like it's going to be official with him going to Toronto, even with this investigation. He was actually in Toronto, yesterday? So it seems like the Kawhi trade is going to be happening. That's what it appears to be. But, we're still waiting on that. Now, the 76ers, they got Jaylen Brown and LeBron James. And they added to a team that, look, Joel Embiid is always a question mark with his health. But if he's healthy, he's a top 2 big in the NBA. The only reason I, and maybe a lot of people would put Jokic first, is because Jokic plays. Whereas Embiid, we know how great of a player he is. He's just never healthy now. Last time I saw Embiid healthy, he was with the Team USA winning a gold medal. That's the last time I feel like I saw him play and be healthy. But him, VJ Edgecombe, look, it's going to be his sophomore season. There's expectations for him to be better, without a doubt. But I cannot sit here and say the expectation is that he has got to be the number 1 best in the world. No. He's now arguably the 4th or 5th option on the team as a starter. Probably the 5th option. Because you got Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey is a great player, even though he had a really bad playoffs. But he's a great player in the sense of he's fast. He's not your typical point guard that's going to have to set players up or organize the offense. He's never been that. But this year, he's not going to have to be that because Jaylen Brown is going to be there and LeBron James. And I've seen a report that LeBron James is going to be the point guard, which is perfect in my opinion because You don't need LeBron James running around. You don't need LeBron James, having to try to get a bunch of points and take over. Of course, moments like that happen, but you need LeBron to organize the offense, in my opinion. So the 76ers versus the Knicks. And look, the Knicks, they're the NBA champions. They're the NBA champions. What other team should play them? Maybe the only other argument that could be made is the Boston Celtics versus the 76ers on opening night. But the champions have to play on opening night, and they usually, even though this year's different, usually they only put 2 games, one East Coast, one West Coast. But this year they are putting 2 East Coast games and then a West Coast game, which that's the only difference. But the Knicks, they're the champs. And the Knicks, for the most part, their whole team is coming back. Of course, Mitchell Robinson's not coming back. That's a tough one. They got Andre Drummond, but they still got Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Bridges. They still got the core, Cap. They still got the core. So LeBron James is going to come to the Garden on opening night versus the champion New York Knicks. I mean, that game right there, in my opinion, is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm telling you, I am hyped for it. I am extremely hyped that game is going to be, that game is going to be happening, because it's going to be great. It's going to be great, in my opinion. So those are the first 2 games. Again, the Boston Celtics versus the Detroit Pistons. They are going to be playing at 3 p.m. Then we have the New York Knicks versus the Philadelphia 76ers. It's going to be at Madison Square Garden. And tickets are on ESPN. I'm seeing the Celtics versus Pistons. Tickets as low as $218. For the Knicks versus the 76ers, tickets as low as $1,624. That's unbelievable right there. Now, the last game, which this game will also be a phenomenal game. You had the 2 best teams from the Western Conference. They met in the Western Conference Finals, and they went to a Game 7. And they are going to be playing in San Antonio, Texas, which the San Antonio Spurs lost their last game in San Antonio in the NBA Finals, Game 5. The Oklahoma City Thunder, which we expect them to be healthy, versus the San Antonio Spurs. And look, the storyline for that game is going to be phenomenal, folks. I mean, it's just going to be phenomenal, because OKC, a lot of people said they only lost to the Spurs because they weren't healthy. They lost A.J. Mitchell in the series. What's his name? Jalen Williams played like 2 or 3 games, but he just wasn't healthy. And they're talking about a player that is really good. So that series felt like it was just SGA, if we're being honest. But, these things happen in sports. They happen, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But sports injuries always happen. But this game is going to be a phenomenal game, folks. Like, I sincerely believe it is going to be a phenomenal game, a phenomenal one. Because Wemby, he's coming back. How is Wemby going to look? Is he going to be stronger? Is his game going to be better? How's Dylan Harper for the Spurs? How is Stephen Castle, versus SGA, Jalen Williams, Chet? Chet's last performance in Game 7 was horrendous. What is he going to look like? Because I made a prediction thinking that they were going to move on from Chet, but they didn't. And I respect that. So, opening night of the NBA on October 20th, it is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And I'm telling you, for me, I don't have a problem with any of the matchups. I believe all of them are going to be really, really good. And I'm telling you, I am extremely excited for opening night, because the Knicks are going to be getting their rings, banner. Celtics, Jason Tatum, first game without Brown versus the Pistons. Are the Pistons for real? Are they going to be a team that's a legit contender? And then we have arguably the two best teams in the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the San Antonio Spurs. And look, I'm going to go to the Christmas games, but this NBA season, folks, so much happened. LaMelo Ball is with the Minnesota Timberwolves now. Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's with the Miami Heat. I spoke, LeBron, Jaylen Brown are with the 76ers. If I'm not mistaken, Tobias Harris, I believe he's with the San Antonio Spurs. I believe he's no longer there. The Warriors re-sign Porzingis. The Wizards, Anthony Davis said he's going to play 82 games this year with Trae Young, AJ DeBonsta. The Kawhi Leonard trade, is that going to be official? The 76ers also signed Anthony Simons, who's a pretty good player. Dean Wade for defense. The Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, my Brooklyn Nets, they got, what's his name? Julius Randle on a trade. Nicholas Claxton's gone. So a lot of things. Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors. A lot of things happened this offseason. And I'm curious. Russell Westbrook yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, he retired. Russell Westbrook, he's retired. I'm shocked. And there was a report he had two offers. One from the Wizards, and was the other one from the Kings? I think it was the Kings. Let me take a quick look at that. But I'm going to be honest with you. After 18 years, he retires. I was pretty surprised by that. I didn't expect him to retire personally. I personally didn't respect. Yep, the Kings and the Wizards. He had offers from them, but he chose to retire. And I'm surprised he didn't choose the Wizards, because the Wizards, this year they have a chance to contend. Now, he wouldn't have started for the Wizards, though. He would have been a backup player. That's just the reality. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he feels disrespected. So that's what's going on opening day. A lot of NBA transactions, signings, trades. Now, Christmas Day, I'm a little disappointed with the time, but the matchup is perfect. The San Antonio Spurs versus the New York Knicks in the Garden, MSG. But they put this game at 12 p.m. Eastern time. I'm sorry. In my opinion, this is the main event game, or at least the second main event game. In my opinion, you can't put this as the first game. Even though I get it, it's the first game, okay, but, people are barely waking up at midday. People are, food is barely even done at that time. You're not really sitting down for dinner. And, okay, I mean, it is what it is. People are going to still watch it at midday. People will still be there. I will still plan to watch the game. But the San Antonio versus Spurs versus the New York Knicks, that's going to be the first game on Christmas Day. And look, after what the Knicks did to the Spurs, after the Spurs choking many games, even though still the Knicks were the better team, what's going to happen when these two teams play? We saw how Wemby was a pretty dirty player. What's going to happen? Second game, we're going to see Giannis Antetokounmpo with the Miami Heat, and I'm curious to see what the Miami Heat are going to do. They got Bam Adebayo. They got Giannis, but what else? What else are they going to do, or is that it? I think they need to do more, but we're going to see. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo versus the Boston Celtics. That is going to be happening at 2:30 p.m. What's going on, Sinatra? Jacob is also here. We know AD line, bruh. Golden State are the main event because of Curry. Hey, no Golden State on... Oh, Golden State is playing on Christmas. My bad. They're playing the Denver Nuggets. But they're playing the late game, the 10:30 game. So that's the second game. The Boston Celtics hosting the Miami Heat. Now, this for me is the primetime game, and it's fair, even though, look, I would have personally liked to see Christmas Day the 76ers going against the Celtics. I would have liked to see that, but they are giving LeBron James. Why the Lakers? They're giving the LeBron James benefit there to go back and play against the team. Father-son duo, first time playing against each other on Christmas Day. That game is going to be happening at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Luka Doncic, Walker Kessler, Austin Reeves. That right there is going to be a big time game. Then the 8 p.m. game, the OKC Thunder are going to be playing the Minnesota Timberwolves. And look, the Minnesota Timberwolves, last year they didn't, but before, I believe they made the Western Conference Finals 2 or 3 years in a row. But they lost 1 year to the Mavericks. They lost the other year to the Thunder. Can the Timberwolves get over the hump? What do I mean by that? Are they finally going to be able to beat these powerhouse teams? They've beat them in the regular season. They've beat them in games, but can they take a step and make it to a final, Because now the Timberwolves, and last year, who did they lose to? San Antonio Spurs. And Naz Reid, they traded him, but he was elbowed crazy by Wemby. I mean, Wemby straight up just elbowed him like crazy on that game. So I'm curious. And now the Timberwolves have LaMelo Ball. So are they going to be better? Even I like LaMelo Ball. I'm going to be honest. And he's tall. Are they going to be better? Are they going to be a team that stays razor focused? Are they going to be better for this? I thought them giving up Naz Reid was bad, but they gave him up. And, I don't know what else to say in that regard other than OKC. Look, people gave them a pass last year because they weren't healthy. What about this year? What are they going to look like this year? And then the final Christmas game, we got the Denver Nuggets. They are going to be playing the Golden State Warriors. Is this Stephen Curry's last Christmas game? I doubt it. But I don't know when Jimmy Butler will be back. I don't know if Jimmy Butler is going to start the season with the Warriors. But Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, Draymond signed, if I'm not mistaken, a 1-year deal with the Warriors. Steve Kerr is back. I like the Warriors rookie. Yaxel Lendenberg, he just won a national championship with Michigan. And even in Summer League, Golden State won the Summer League. And Yaxel Lendenberg was pretty impressive. So, I am very, very curious to see what is going to go down in that respective game. And we got Steph Curry, Steph staying, Mikey, next season, it is going to be intense. Now, the full schedule of the NBA is not released. It's just, some important days are released. For example, I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan. Their schedule's not released yet. The Brooklyn Nets schedule, let me go really fast to their website. Their schedule's not released yet. The Brooklyn Nets have a preseason schedule, but that's about it. So the NBA schedule's being leaked. It's just opening night, Christmas, and a few other days. Like the day after, the Wednesday, we're gonna have Minnesota at Miami Heat, Golden State versus the Lakers on Wednesday. The Thursday, they're gonna have the Cleveland at the 76ers, and then Denver at OKC. Friday, the Knicks will be playing the Celtics. So a lot of games are leaked, but not every single team. There are some teams that they don't even know who they're playing on opening night. So all of that is still to be determined. But look, the NBA season, it is going to be absolute fire. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the matchups. And look, we still got about 67 days. We still got a lot of time ahead of us before the NBA season. Before the NBA season, we got the NFL. So NFL, you already know I'm going to be getting into the NFL, live streaming NFL games. And then the MLB playoffs, where the MLB playoffs, the wild card is going to start at the ending of September. And throughout October, NBA starting on opening night, by that time, we would be very close to the World Series, or maybe the World Series would actually have already started. So, it is going to be good. Probably the best time of the year for sports is upon us. And, well, it's getting closer. Because right now, for me, I feel like we just got MLB. But when NFL's back, when NBA's back, that is, for me, one of the best times where we are extremely, extremely excited. So, look, you got it for those days. The NBA season is closer. NFL season is closer. MLB playoffs is closer because the season's going to end. Let's make it happen, folks. I am excited, and it's going to be very, very intense. All of you already know from Higher Expectation Sports, I 100% appreciate all of you, appreciate the support. Thank you all for being a part of this. And until next time, I will see you all very, very soon. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Spread this out to your friends, your family, and let's make it happen. And how could I forget? Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.